How's it going today? Is 30th June Sunday, and we are taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities we can find. Today it's Sunday. Let's take a look at finances. We can take a look at how government is looking to raise taxes. It's a very creativity level is very high, so try to follow. But since there is a lot of different articles that I managed to find yesterday, and creativity to the point where people gonna begin paying for air. To this point, credibility, right? It's something that perhaps a lot of people are lacking, but I don't know. The arguments there is air and air quality. So if people prefer having good quality of air, I don't know who ruined the air. We can take a look at that as well. Vehicles potentially, as well as I haven't read those articles, right? But perhaps we can take a look at what would be important entire structure. I believe entire structure would begin by introducing some of those concepts and investing in something that would be called smart cities, right? But let's begin by taking a look at some of these articles. First one would be EU backs 650 billion euro plan to help cities reach net zero. So let's take a look at what plans they have, some of those governments looking to introduce, as well as how they're looking to raise taxes back, right, in the process, right, where people will be paying for air. What this article is going to be about, that is summary climate city capital hub to help coordinate funding. So the investment is going to be made, as well as tax is going to be increased, and all money would be raised back, right? So they will invest into different systems, as well as they're going to be looking how to finance entire thing. Myself, I don't know. I don't know if there is a form to fill in. Perhaps I can express my views. Other than that, I'm just looking to understand, right? After the 112 EU associated cities aiming to hit ambitious targets, hub will help source capital from EIB and all other investments, as well as we can touch on UK. It's something that's happening with UK as well. I have a couple of screenshots of some of the measures currently have been people have been taking and looking to introduce in some of those parts and what's happening, right? But either way, let's begin with this article. Okay, London, Brussels. So UK do take part in this, which is kind of strange, since London is not part of EU. It was UK's decision, right? A group of 112 cities aiming to eliminate the net greenhouse gas emissions by 2030 will need a combined 650 billion euros in investment to deliver the pledge, European Union initiative said on Wednesday, part of the EU's 100 climate neutral and or smart cities mission. The city's net zero emissions goal is to more ambitious than most governments, with 27 countries, EU and or Britain. Okay, okay. EU and okay. Britain both setting a 2050 deadline after 377 cities applied to join program, 100 from the bloc. When they saying EU bloc, I not necessarily would go with this kind of concepts, right? Collective. That's a better word, perhaps. And 12 from associated countries were chosen and were developed the climate plan with supports from EU and non-profit advisory firm. I don't know this company. I don't know. I don't think that's a good company. I don't think it's a good company. But either way, the plan. I don't know nothing about this company, but I don't know if it's a good company. The plan is then turned into investments blueprint as assessed by the European Commission and all independent experts before the city is given a label to affirm the facts. To date, 33 cities have their plans signed up, including perhaps we can stop there. The gist of it, I think we captured. I don't know. We can touch on perhaps one more point and something they're looking to achieve, but there is a bigger strategy, right? How some of the freedoms more than likely will be taken away, and something that these elections will be very important even with the UK, and that will be overall strategy, and I'm looking to understand it, right? And someone's gonna make money, and someone will pay for it. So, who's making money out of this? Who's paying for it? And what is these bankers are trying to do, quote unquote, some of these companies there. Cities are a major contributor to climate change, producing 70% of the world's CO2 emissions, according to the International Energy Agency. Of course, energy agency. Everyone has something to do with this. If I will get paid, I'll produce some work as well. But either way, let's progress to the next article. I thought I'll touch on it. I have been taking a look at previously. There were some articles in the newspapers everything what's happened that he'd be a popular person or Akon and his new 6 billion smart city in Senegal will offer a second home for African diaspora. Since I thought it might be worth mentioning, I think he was advocate for some of the interesting projects. What I heard, right, I don't know how accurate those are when it comes to lights, introducing and having more of this. It is electricity, lights, and drinking water, which I believe will be very important. So I'll touch on it. But again, that's pretty much how much I will touch on it. I don't know how he's looking to raise capital and what some of the measures might be, but it's not necessarily limited to Europe, UK, and perhaps there's other projects happening, right? It's something that came to my attention, was recommended to me to take a look at it, so I thought might as well that we can take a look at it. It's something that's really called Ultra Low Emission Zone, so I think it's a new initiative. I was very intrigued why these people would need to have security guards. So it's three engineers and two security guards installing this system. So I don't know why security guards there, what happened historically, but perhaps there is a lot of unrest about some of those measures, right? Entire system, I don't know if we have enough time to cover entire process and what they're looking to achieve and how much of that is accurate, right? So since I'm taking a look at some of those articles, I don't know how much of the information has been offered has been accurate. So if anything, let's take a look at the concept. That would be ultra low emission zone. I think they're just looking to raise capital from where they gonna get this money from the taxpayers, and then after that they're gonna ask for taxpayers to pay taxes, which is an interesting idea. The ultra low emission zone, perhaps someone can correct me, right, is improving London's air quality, benefiting public health and helping combat climate change. The ultra low emission zone is the largest clean air zone in the world. That would be in London. It's something that they're looking to introduce. I think it's a process under it might be developed in phases, and I'm not entirely sure at what phase they currently are. It covers every borough of London, helping capital's 9 billion residents breathe cleaner air. Or there's gonna be definitely gonna be some taxes, right? Someone gonna be paying tax right now, but let's progress. We can take a look at other initiatives. It's something that it's been happening for some time now, right? So that would be more of a traditional way of raising taxes. That would be paying for roads, right? And we can take a look at different governments, including Norway, which have its own system. The way how when crossing some of those roads, they would charge you money for car and driving on certain roads. I had the opportunity to be in Norway, so it's a very interesting system. Sometimes they would have one road that you don't need to pay for it, but they would build a lot of bumps on that road, so you could have wear down your car, right? So, but I'll touch on this system as well as we can take a look at Italy. Italy has its own system, right? When taking a look at Italy, I had a chance to be in Italy as well and drive some of those roads, which was a lot of fun. But you need to pay for those roads, right? So that would be potentially roads for everyone, which is fine. Everyone can drive those roads, as well as you can pay and perhaps have access to some of those increased roads that potentially someone paid for, and now they're looking to get paid for having access to some of those roads, in this case traveling, right? So I thought I'll touch on that as well. Since we're taking a look at or probing different governments, quote unquote, right? So we were taking a look at Norway, Italy, UK, and I thought I'll touch on Lithuania. That would be car pollution tax can bring up to 100 million in extra revenue a year. A car pollution tax that can Lithuania government plan to introduce in 2020 will bring an estimated 10 million to 15 million euros in extra budget revenue in the first year. Environmental minister let's keep name says, adding that into a market later increase up to 100 million euros. So there's a different ways how some of these governments looking to raise taxes. I've been told, I don't know if it's accurate, I've been trying to find it yesterday. I've been told that there's an extra tax that it would be introduced, always something that's already been happening. Every time at a pump station, you could pay potential for every liter. You can pay extra tax, and that money could, let's say, 5 cents or so, would go to paying for road. Since you're using road, you're paying for road, right? But I think there's additional taxes, something that they're interested in introducing, right? So that's a different. But some of those governments looking to launch different train and all infrastructure projects, right? Including Lithuania, including UK, and they're looking to raise taxes somehow, right? As well as I was reading some of those articles yesterday, and in comparison, they were expanding and sharing some thoughts on different vehicles, and perhaps some of those vehicles paying more if it's heavier vehicle, and impact that heavier vehicles would have on the roads and the lighter vehicles, right, when it comes to infrastructure. So that's potentially the ins and outs about raising taxes and who should be paying more, right? Since we were taking a look at Italy, some people have access to normal roads, and some people have, if they would be interested, they can pay for that tax, right? So that's kind of leeway, quote unquote. There's a doubt that it's necessary to tax heavy freight transport, which sever destroy roads, especially in the countries which a lot of transit traffic flows, and therefore also Lithuania, where, by the way, there's one of the highest such tax, which is 0.440 euros for every kilometer, while in the United Kingdom it's only 0.002 euros for every kilometer, said professor. So just to put things into perspective, so sometimes we taxing more, and some of those governments looking to raise more capital from different sources compared to other governments, right? As well as to be more productive, perhaps we can take a look at reforestation, and we're going to be taking a look at UK. It's some of this information that I managed to find yesterday, and it seems that they have a plan, and it's something that they're looking to address when it comes to air quality. Entire article, we can perhaps take a look at, and we'll close this video on that. That will be 3 different steps. Let nature lead. So nature will kind of take care of itself. We just don't need to interrupt it. As well as give nature a hand, right? So perhaps help planting trees, additional tree species, right? As well, to plant trees, of course. So that will be 3 steps. I think we can do it. As well as, since we're looking to introduce different measures when it comes to air quality, right? So perhaps we could take a look at this measure. Double woodland cover by 2030 for the benefit of people, nature, and our climate. We urgently need to see expansion of nature's recovery across Britain to match the scale of threats from accelerating climate heating and all species extinctions. Doubling woodlands cover from 13% as it is right now to at least 26 by 2030, and achieving partly throughout the rapid expansion of the areas of woodland to in making where young woodlands are regenerative and grow into nature forest and wild woods of the future. Our national parks and public lands shall lead by the establishing a mosaic and regenerative forest and woodland habitats at the scale alongside westland, greenland, scrubs, and non-woodland areas. So potentially planting more trees and nature over time, since it's only 13%, right? So perhaps that's would be most optimal way compared to raising taxes. And I'm not entirely sure that government knows what to do with the money. I know that nature knows what to do with or extra CO2, right? Nature definitely knows what to do. Government, it just needs more money constantly, right? That's close enough. Thanks for watching. See you next one.